All right, welcome to this chapter 1 computer system overview. In this first lecture of chapter 1, we are going to study computer organization. All right. Uh, Firstly, you have to know what is computer, right? Defining a computer is not a problem, I hope so, because all of us have computers in some forms. It may be mobile phone or something like that. Computers are electronics device that process data and give out useful information. Okay, computers can be of different forms. It may be desktop computer, or it may be laptop, it may be netbook, hybrid, tablet, mobile phone. Mobile phone can even be categorized into computer because the way it is designed and the way how it is working is same, right? First of all, you have to know what is hardware. The hardware means the physical component of the computer system that you can see and touch. Okay, in textbook terms, it is known as the physical or tangible component. Okay, the physical or tangible component. Tangible component. For example, keyboard, mouse, CPU, monitor, printer, etc. All the things that you have seen in this presentation is the computer hardware. After knowing the hardware, you have to know what is the software, right? The software is nothing but sets of programs. It's not a single program, it is a collection of programs. Um, how the which govern or which make the computer hardware run. Okay, without software, the hardware cannot do nothing. The hardware is useless. All right. So when you say my computer is not working, my computer is let us say damaged or something like that, we usually mean the software. The hardware is not usually damaged. Okay, when it is not functioning properly, it is usually because of the hardware and the software. All right, so software can be categorized into system software and application software, which we are going to study in detail. And computer diagram can be drawn like this in a simple way. There will be input system like the input devices, keyboard, camera, a microphone, etc. will be the input devices, and will give input or commands to the computer that will be processed by the CPU. Okay, the CPU, central processing unit. And the CPU is divided into control unit, which looks after how the CPU is working. The actual work is done by ALU, arithmetic logic unit, right? When the computer is working, it needs some space to store the jobs which it is currently doing and it is about to do, or it needs some memory to store the job which it finishes, right? So for that we need primary memory, right? Primary memory. The primary memory are usually the random access memory, and sometimes we may need to save the data in the computer, and for saving the data we usually use the secondary storage device like the hard disk, right? After doing whatever it can do, it give out output to the user, the human beings. So the output devices include the monitor, printer, etc. Okay, output devices include monitor, printer, etc. All right, this is the basic organization of computer system. Now let's talk about computer organization. Computer organization refers to logical structure of how the computer components are arranged together and how it is working. Okay, uh, computer hardware engineers uh, try to find out the best possible ways to connect the different parts of the computer so that the performance of the computer will be increased and the computer will perform much better. Okay, that is the aim of computer organization, right? Suppose you are given computer hard disk, RAM, CPU, etc. If you know the way to connect those systems so that the computer perform much better than the normal computer system, that means you are discovering a new technique for computer organization, right? That's how the computer organizations aims it. Okay, So let's quickly go through the different input devices, right? Input devices include scanner, we have mouse, we have keyboard, we have joystick for playing games, etc. These are the input devices. We also have the output devices like printer, monitor, and speakers, etc. Okay, this webcam can be the input devices, right? This printer is the output devices. Headphone can be both the input devices as well as the output devices. And let's go quickly to the CPU. The CPU, as I told you, it is the central processing unit and it is the brain of the computer. Okay, all the work is done by the CPU. The CPU is divided into ALU and the CU. ALU means arithmetic logic unit and CU means the control unit, right? As I have shown here in the diagram, the CPU, the central processing unit in computer, desktop computer is here, okay, here. It is usually placed under the CPU fan. So when it is working, when we use the computer, this CPU is working and it usually generate lots of heat. So in order to make it cool down, uh, uh, usually CPU fan is fit on it, right? And let's talk briefly about the ALU. ALU means arithmetic. When we say arithmetic, it is the different basic mathematical operations like plus, minus, multiplication, divide. Okay, these are the arithmetic. When you say logical, logical means the different comparisons like less than, greater than, equal to, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. This is not equal to sign. Okay, it can compare. Computer can compare, right? So the reason why I'm putting this picture is I want you to know what is pixel. When we say pixel, it is known as picture element. Pixel is a short form. The full form is pixel, right? Yeah, photos may be composed of thousands and millions of pixels. Okay, computer perform operations on pixels. When you edit your photos, you make it a little bit brighter or something fairer. Uh, the computer CPU is working on the pixel level. It is the reducing the pixel values. Its color have its own pixel value, and if the value is more, the color is black. If the value is less, the color is white. So it is between black and white. All right. Now let's talk about the CU. The CU is the control unit. It is the supervisor. Okay, when there are construction workers, there will be the supervisor who supervise how the constructor workers are, the building workers are working. They will divide the jobs. They will supervise how the job is done, etc. Like that, in computer also. The CU is the supervisor. It is looking after all the operations of the arithmetic logic unit, right? Where data should be saved and which jobs to be performed first. All these things are looking after by the control unit. Okay, they are the main controller. All right. Now let's talk about the registers. The registers are small unit of memory, data holding places. Data holding places means memory. They are temporally. Why it is temporally? Because as soon as the power goes off, if you switch off the computer, all the data in the memories will be lost. Okay, it cannot store permanently. That's why it is known as temporary memory storage. These resistors usually comes with the CPU and you cannot purchase separately. Okay, it usually comes with the CPU. The more resistor, the more jobs the computer can store, and we think that it is the better. So that therefore, if you purchase this CPU, look for the memory, the resistor size. If it has more resistor, that means it is a good processor, and it will cost more too. All right, let's talk about the main memory now. The main memory is usually RAM, random access memory, and the main memory also include ROM, random access memory. Okay, ROM is like this, and RAM is like this, right? And ROM is the memory which is already supplied by the motherboard manufacturer. They put their company logos, their company names, version name, the name of the device, the MAC address, the different data associated with that hardware, all are put inside the uh, random read-only memory. Sorry. So the read-only memory cannot be erased. It cannot be destroyed by the computer virus. But this is also permanent. It is a permanent storage. But RAM is a volatile storage. Volatile means as soon as the power goes off, all the data will be lost. It is known as volatile. In memory, you have two techniques. The first one is volatile memory. The second one is non-volatile memory. Volatile memory means as soon as power supply is off, all data will be lost from that memory. If it is non-volatile memory, the data will be still there even after the power supply is off. Okay, for example, RAM is volatile memory and hard disk is non-volatile memory. All right, I hope it's clear. Let's go to the next one. Types of the main memory. We have two types, as I told you, mostly ROM and RAM. And but before we study the different types, let's talk about what is memory cells. Okay, uh, the memory can be thought of as table. The memory can be thought like a table. So it is a collection of rows and column. So one intersection is known as cells. Okay, it can be thought of as cells. Each cells is broken down into a smaller part called bit. When we say bit, it is binary digit full form. Bit is binary digit full form, and the bit may be 0 and 1. Okay, the bit may be 0 and 1. A bit is elementary unit of computer memory. Computer memory is measured in terms of 0 and 1, which is known as bit, and 8-bit will become 1 byte. 8-bit will become 1 byte. Please try to know this. Many multiple choice question can be asked from this. A group of 8 bits forms 1 byte. A group of 8 bits forms 1 byte. What happened?